All right, let's get started for this. Wait for a couple more people to come on. How's everybody doing? Hope you guys are enjoying your Monday. Today we're gonna be making some buffalo chickpea salad. I can't wait to show you guys how simple this recipe is. How's it going? Wave to a couple of people and then we'll get started here. So just to kind of give a little input as to where I'm at right now, currently in sunny South Florida, although today it is a bit cloudy outside. Excited to be here with you guys, obviously to share some plant-based cooking and how simple it really is. So without further ado, my name is Ryan. I'm the owner of The Vegan Rhino. If you haven't heard or seen of it, essentially I am a culinary influencer who's had a burning desire for cooking ever since I was a young little boy. Probably about 4 or 5, my grandmother would sit me up on the countertop and we would go ahead and make little box cakes. So that's kind of where my inspiration stems from all those years ago. And here I am today. So I'll be vegan 3 years on July 1st. So it's a huge veganversary, I would say, because going vegan, a lot of people don't realize how simple it is. So that's why today I'm excited to show this delicious recipe. So just to kind of get started a little bit with what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be taking some canned chickpeas, always organic. I get this from Vitacost, very simple. And we're basically going to start out by taking this canned chickpeas and just draining it. So I like to take the chickpea liquid, which is also called aquafaba, and you can use aquafaba liquid for a variety of different ingredients, for recipes, mousses, meringues, stuff like that. It's a great binder. So definitely save your chickpea liquid if you throw it away in the sink. It's a big no-no. So just gonna go ahead and pour this out. Okay. And then I'm just gonna drain it and rinse it. And I'm going to add this can of chickpeas to my food processor. So this recipe calls for 2 cans of chickpeas, which I've already put the other can in the food processor. Just a quick way to get the ingredients to kind of come together in like a one pot type of ordeal. So that's what we're using today, is the food processor. And the next is a red onion. So I went to the farm and they only had very large red onions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it in half right through the root side. And I'm going to flip it down so that's flat. And then I'm going to slice it and then horizontally. And then I will go ahead and do a small dice on that. So that's what I'm going to show you guys right now, is how to chop a onion. So again, flat. If you're nervous, you can always do a little flat side here too on your onion. Just makes it a little bit more sturdy when you're slicing. So we've got a nice flat edge, so it's not going to roll away from you, right through the root. And we'll put one of these to the side. So not many people know when you're actually slicing with onions, this is the easiest way to kind of peel the onion back. So you got the skin from one corner, and then it just comes all off in one nice clean sweep. So as I said, you're going to take your knife in your hand, straight down. So we're going to get lines. And then right through the middle, okay? So with this, you want to put your hand nice and flat on the counter. And then just go halfway through and stop. So now just take your knife and just do a quick little chop. We only need about a 1/4 cup, so I'm just going to stop right here. And as you can see, you've got a little small chop. So it's just going to make it easier when you food process it, because we're not going to puree it. We're just going to leave it a little chunky to give it some substance to it. So we're just going to add about a 1/4 cup. of red onion. And also just a little tip about red onions. Basically why I like using red onions is it's very sweet. So it has a lot more of a mild taste than a regular yellow onion would, if that makes sense. So that's why we're using the red onion for the sweetness. It's also a little bit more potent, so it's going to give you a little bit more of an oniony flavor overall. So that's what we're doing today. The next is going to be some herbs. So I have my parsley that I have just picked off of a big bunch. Only need a tablespoon just to add some freshness to the overall dish. So put it in your hand, and we're gonna clump it all up. So basically you make a nice little ball. And with this recipe, you can also keep the stems on it. You don't really need to pluck them away or throw it away. It's good flavor and it's waste free. So we're basically gonna take our knife and just chop back and forth, just a rock. You want all the knife to be doing the power, and you're basically just moving your fingers back as the knife gets a little bit closer. So you just keep rocking back and forth. Okay, so you got something that looks like that. And we'll just take it a little bit more, and we'll put our hand on top. And again, just up and down. So that's about a tablespoon of parsley. Alrighty, and then here I have is some green onion, black pepper, salt, and garlic. So it's about 2 green onions, about a half a teaspoon of salt and pepper, and 1 garlic clove that I smashed and just chopped up finely, just so that when it goes into the blender, it makes it nice and easy. So in that goes. Next here is the celery. So I chopped up just about 1 stalk of celery, and I'm going to go ahead and add that in. And then the recipe does call for plain hummus. Right now I don't have hummus, so I'm going to use instead mayonnaise. If you don't have mayonnaise or hummus, that's okay too. You could even use maybe a mashed avocado just to give it some of that viscosity that it would need in the dish. So I'm going to go ahead and add the mayo. And the last but not least, which would be the buffalo sauce or hot sauce. So either or, however you guys choose, is totally fine. Personally, this recipe, buffalo sauce, makes it a lot better with the red onion, the green onion. It's absolutely delicious. So 1 to 2 tablespoons, depending on what you guys like. And I'm gonna save a little bit just for later. I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to make this chickpea salad a little bit of a step up. So watch your ears, because I am going to go ahead and pulse this a little bit. Give it a quick little mix just to kind of see what we're working with. Yeah, it looks good. Okay. See if we have any questions here while I'm pushing this out. Do you guys have any questions for me so far as to what we are doing? Any of the ingredients that we're using? Thanks, Alyssa. Yeah, I always love using avocados for different things. It's honestly great, especially for people that don't like to use mayonnaise, and if you don't have hummus on hand. right, so I'm just gonna add this to a bowl. Now, normally I would put this into the refrigerator. I would maybe make this ahead, put it in the fridge for about an hour, kind of let the flavors meld all up together. Right now, we're just gonna go ahead and eat this. So what I'm gonna do is, I've already plated some bread, nice little focaccia that I got from the farm, and some organic tomatoes with some lettuce. Okay. So basically, you're just gonna come in. You're gonna take your chickpea salad, just put it right on top. Just like that. And there you go. Let me turn on this light so you guys can see a little bit better. So here you go. You see the buffalo chickpea salad on a sandwich. If you don't want to eat this on a sandwich, you could easily do this as a dip with some crackers or some carrot sticks, celery sticks, whatever you guys like. Sometimes cucumbers as well. Hey Blanche, nice to see you on here. Let's see. So Alyssa, no, thank you for all the feedback. I did take a lot of classes growing up from like Sur La Table, Viking. I was a prep chef back at home in Cleveland as well for a couple of summers. So basically learned a lot of my culinary skills from one, being an at-home chef, two, working in a restaurant business, and three, just honestly loving to cook and just to develop recipes and to experiment with different flavors. I remember as a young kid too, I would sit at home and I would just take flour and baking soda and different ingredients and just try to recreate like a cake, and I would bake it and it would never work, it would never turn out, and I would just kind of create a mess for my mom. Sorry, Mom. But yeah, learning to cook is something I think that everybody should take the time to do, especially right now with the pandemic and how things are going. It's definitely a great time to sit down and just learn about food, where it comes from, and why to buy sorts of foods that are maybe organic, or Himalayan salt that I use. I'm not too sure if people know about Himalayan salt, but it contains about 84 or 86 minerals that normal table salt doesn't usually have. So I think it's definitely beneficial to look at ingredients and see what alternatives are out there and how you can maybe get more minerals into your body and stuff like that through different things. So good question, thank you. Let's see what else. Need to watch the playback ingredients. Yeah, so it was really easy. Just to go back again for the buffalo chickpea salad, it was just the 2 cans of chickpeas, about a 1/4 cup of red onion. I did also do 2 green onions, some parsley, buffalo sauce or hot sauce. If you don't have the buffalo sauce on hand, you can just do like a tablespoon of butter, vegan butter obviously, or if you're not vegan, regular butter for you. And just melt that down in the hot sauce, and that's how you actually make buffalo sauce. So it's just another way to use other ingredients instead of having to go out and buy stuff like that. So you can find this recipe on the Vita Vibes blog. All you have to do is just search buffalo chickpea salad, and that will come up. I will also link it on my page as well. If you ever do come to the Vegan Rhino, you can go to my link in bio and see it there, as well as on Vitacost's story too. So I'm sure you can swipe up and get that recipe as well. And yeah, the last couple of ingredients were just the hummus that I added, the mayonnaise, salt, pepper, and garlic. So very simple. Oh, you're welcome for the recipe. I hope you like it. If you guys do try it, make sure to tag Vitacost to myself so that we can see what you guys do and then maybe repost it. Of course, I'm happy to give you the recap. Do you guys have any other questions for me, maybe, as to what's, the simplest way to live vegan or something like that? Hey, Merlin. Let's see. Maybe there are some questions I missed in the beginning. Yeah, Varisto, it is a little spicy. So I guess I could talk a little bit about the hot sauce too. So on Vitacost, I have another recipe, which is a cauliflower bites recipe, and it's 2 ways, and I actually do a fermented hot sauce. So I'm not sure if too many of you guys know what the fermentation process is and stuff like that, but essentially it's just when you get the good bacteria and it's converting the sugars. And when you get the conversion of sugars, you get the lactic acid, which is a preservative. So with these preservatives, it's actually developing your flavors in the hot sauce. So it will make it a little bit more mild and a little bit more sweet just from the fermentation process. But it adds so much more depth of flavor overall to the hot sauce. So I highly suggest checking out the cauliflower bites 2 ways. Looking at that fermentation process and that hot sauce, and I think that would be a great addition to this buffalo chickpea salad that we just made here today. Good question, Diane. So I personally don't really eat a lot of tempeh. I did try it when I first went vegan, and I wasn't a huge fan of it. I did do a teriyaki though tempeh when I did try it, and the teriyaki sauce was good. However, it just, to me, for some reason, the tempeh it wasn't doing it for me. Personally, in my veganism, I like to be more homemade, I guess to say, and really create the recipes that I use instead of going and getting like tempeh. I do eat a lot of tofu and stuff like that. But I try to really create the whole food aspect with the ingredients, like Vital Wheat gluten. I love doing stuff like that, and seitan, and things like that. But tempeh is great. A lot of people do like it, and I do know that the Vita Vibes has a ton of recipes. So if you want, you can definitely take a gander over there and look and see what they've got. All right, is that it, guys? Do you have any more questions for me? All right, so just to recap, today we did do the buffalo chickpea salad, and I'm gonna go ahead and show just one more time. So it's absolutely delicious. I'm gonna go ahead and get to this. Probably just gonna add a little bit more sauce. And that's a wrap, guys. So thank you so much for joining me on the Vitacost live. It was an absolute great time getting to speak with a lot of you guys, and I hope that you all get to try this simple buffalo chickpea salad recipe. If you missed this video, feel free to rewatch it, and definitely check out for that link so that you guys can all make this recipe soon. All right, have a great day. Be safe.